Alright.
Okay.
So, this is the last part discussion.
Yes, the very last one. We would have done Jojo Leon, but guess who hasn't read fucking Jojo Leon?
Guess what also isn't finished, and we don't know the main antagonist of yet.
You're right, we do not.
That discussion would be over very quickly. Because it would be weird speculation, and I know that you don't like to do speculation.
I'm not a big speculation kind of guy.
Yeah. Though, the Danganronpa speculation video was surprisingly popular.
Yeah, it was. But that's more like dumb just guessing based on bullshit, rather than actually, like, speculating.
As for, Steel Balls, that is our last part discussion.
Yes.
Steel Ball Run. This is a part that a lot of JoJo's Western fans like.
Yes,
but
Japan has never really been crazy about this part.
Yeah. Though, it does get quite a bit of focus in its latest game, but I think Araki might like it.
I think Araki really likes it.
Yeah.
Because I think he's proud of what he's created, but it's like... I really don't know about sales numbers or anything like that, but I can just tell, like... It's
not...
What were you gonna say?
It's not in Japan's top 3.
Right.
Japan's top 3 is very strange.
What's their top 3? I know 5 is in there.
So is 3.
And then, like, 4?
I think it's 4.
Yeah. Well, they like 4. That's 1 out of 3.
Japan tends to have, like, one good thing in its top 3, and then the other 2 are just complete garbage.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Japan's weird, I don't know.
Yeah. So, but conversely, the West seems to be on a near universal consensus. This is one of the better parts.
Yeah, definitely.
We see a return of actual training.
Yes.
Happening, which hasn't really been applicable in previous.
Yeah, nobody's trained really since stands were introduced.
Since you can't really train a stand user.
I mean, you kinda can, but like, I don't know if they usually don't have time to, is the problem.
That, and how do you train a stand user who has a different type of stand?
Right, it's not like Dragon Ball Z, it's more about like, your tactics and knowledge.
Yeah. Everyone has their own specific power set, and they have to figure out what to do with it themselves.
This fucking clock is going off. You hear it?
Yeah. Because of that, we haven't had a traditional Zeppeli.
Yes, the first fucking Zeppeli in, like, 20 years or so?
Yeah. And he's a fucking goofball.
He's goofy.
Yeah. He's the most character out of all the Zeppelis.
Oh, yeah.
No offense to any Caesar fans out there.
Yeah. One thing I really like about Gyro is that he's in a really unique archetype of, like, the rival mentor.
Everyone's kind of a rival in this part.
Yeah, pretty much, which is another, like, strength of it. Is that there's a lot of villains, but the main cast is, like, they're all kind of rivals with each other.
Well, you wouldn't even call a lot of them villains,
right.
Because a lot of them don't really have... No one truly has an evil goal.
Right, there's not really a lot of, like, evil motherfuckers. At worst, they're like, I want money.
Yeah. And even then, what do they want money for? They don't have, like, an evil reason for wanting money.
Right.
You got some greedy motherfuckers, you got some fucker in this for glory. And then you got the president.
Oh, we'll save him. He's the best. We'll save him for last.
We won't. Like, honestly, there's not many... Like, the villain discussion really amounts to 2 characters at its core.
And who are those 2?
Johnny Joestar and Gyro
Motherfucker. Yeah, motherfuckers, the both of them.
Yeah.
Very, very insidious, awful villains. Worse than all the others combined, truly.
Yeah. So despicable that we need to team up with someone even more despicable to try to get rid of those too.
Oh, yes, who?
Diego Brand.
Oh, Diego's not that evil.
Well, he's more evil than, like... He's more evil than pretty much everyone else's part.
Pretty much.
And even then, he's just in this to be the best.
Yeah, he truly is the Ash Ketchum of Jojo.
So, with that in mind, should we go into character discussion?
Yes. Who do you want to start with? We have two protagonists, which is weird.
Yeah. We have a hero, and then we have our protagonist.
Okay, well, which one is which?
Well, I say we start with the one who the story is pretty much told from the perspective of, and probably the most interesting JoJo in a while.
Yeah.
Johnny Joestar.
Yes, I really, really like Johnny Joestar's character.
He is a stone cold motherfucker.
He is an asshole, and he's, like, a murderer, and he's selfish and greedy, and he feels like a real human being, and that's why I like him.
I find him very interesting.
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting character.
Yeah. Like, he starts off being pretty good, and then as the race goes on, you slowly start to see, this guy's the hero?
Right, there's like a natural evolution of his character. He goes from this kind of like naive guy who's like, I just want to walk again, to like, I will literally kill you to get these fucking corpse parts so I can walk again.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that from a protagonist.
Yeah, and he's got like daddy issues out the wazoo.
Well, that's normal for a protagonist.
Yeah. But it's especially bad for Johnny.
Yeah. He's also the only, like, one of two characters in this part to have a traditional stand.
But going back to the dad thing, you ever notice how Araki hates dads in JoJo? He hates dads.
Old Joseph?
Wait, okay, so, part 1, Jonathan's dad gets killed by Dio. Part 2, Joseph's dad gets killed by a fucking zombie. And in part 3, we don't even fucking see Jotaro's dad. Part 4 is the result of, like, a horrible 60-year-old, like, love child fuckness. And part 5, Dio is, Giorno's dad. And then in part 6, Jotaro has been gone from Jolene's life for, like, the longest.
I don't think that, old Joseph is that bad of a father.
He wasn't there the kid's whole life.
Well, he was for Aldi.
Well, yeah.
And do you really expect that senile motherfucker to be there for anyone?
He's barely there for himself.
Yeah. If you really want to say a part 4 dad who was complete shit, you would have said, like, Okuyasu's dad.
Oh, yeah. Or fucking Kira's dad.
Yeah.
Dads are the root of all problems in JoJo.
Maybe. Like, I'd blame Dio myself, but...
No, we can totally blame it on Dio's dad, because Dio's dad is, like, arguably the reason why he became such an asshole. Like, I know Speedwagon says that he was born evil, but I don't think that's possible.
Yeah. Back to part 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good dad discussion.
Dad discussion.
Yes.
Late Father's Day video.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
This is going up, like...
2 weeks after.
Yeah. But, Johnny is pretty interesting just for being stone cold.
Yeah.
He has... That said, he does have some protagonist things. He does have some good guy traits.
Right, he's not, like, totally evil.
Yeah. But he's definitely gets a bit too into his motivation.
Right. Like, I always love the part when Ringo Rodigan is like, he's talking to Gyro, and he's like, you need to watch out because this motherfucker has murder in his eyes. And you see, like, the fire in Johnny's eyeballs. And it's like, oh shit.
Like, it's hard to believe that Johnny, like, would settle down after this.
Which is funny because he totally does.
Yeah. I was like, he's not going to go to, like, prison or anything?
He's killed, like, 9 or, like, more than that, like, 15 people or some shit.
In a sense, one of them was the president.
He killed the president of the United States, and nobody cares.
Like, how does that happen?
I guess the Secret Service is like, this is too weird. He spun himself into a tunnel and died. Like, this is weird. Fuck this. Whatever.
We're not gonna mess with Johnny Joestar.
Yeah. No, would you?
I would not.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. So, Johnny Joestar, not a good person.
Not a good person, great character.
Yeah. You know what is good, though?
What?
Tusk.
I love Tusk. I'm starting to really think that Tusk Act 4 is my favorite, one of, like, my favorite JoJo stand. Or at least one of them. It's in the top, like, 3.
It's a very strong stand.
I love everything about that stand.
It has a very basic ability at first, and you don't expect it to become as strong as it do.
It's broken.
Yeah. You might as well just say, this stand will kill you.
It will literally spin you to death.
It will make sure, like, nothing will get in its way.
Nothing can stop it. It will rip apart dimensional barriers. It doesn't give a shit.
It will kill you.
I like the parts when he's trying to get through D4C Love Train and he's like trying to squeeze his way through his big fat ass. I like how he's like fat.
That is a horror movie moment right there.
Oh, he's terrifying. He's terrifying because he's so, like, wide and he's got that goofy, stupid fucking face.
Yeah. Like, if that was... They had to animate that.
Yo, I can't wait for 15 years. No, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we never get a Steel Ball Run anime.
I think if any JoJo part were to become, like, a movie or OVA, it'd be part 7.
I think it would have to be cut up into, like, at least a couple of movies, like they're doing with the Persona 3 movies.
Yeah. We get, like, Steel Ball Run Part 1 movie and Steel Ball Run Part 2 movie.
I think you would need at least 3.
Well, Japan doesn't like it, so...
They don't like it, so we're fucked. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're at least guaranteed up to 5, and then depending on how 5 goes, they'll probably finish 6.
Yeah. Because 6 is a money train there.
Yeah.
Or 5 is. Anyhow. One thing I do like here is the spin, which is kind of our counterpart of the Ripple.
Spin's awesome.
Universe. Spin is a lot more versatile than the Ripple.
Yeah, the spin you can basically just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like the Ripple, it's like pretty specifically you're charging it something with energy. But the spin is just like, yeah, just do whatever. Just whatever.
Yeah.
You think of something that in some way or another relates to spinning, you can do it.
Yeah. Sonic is a spin master.
He probably is. When he gets up into his little ball, it forms the golden rectangle.
Oh god. But didn't Tails teach Sonic to spin dash?
Is that canon?
Yeah,
oh,
I think it is. Yeah, so Tails is like the gyro Zeppeli.
This is so meta.
So we'll talk about gyro.
Alright, we'll talk about Tails.
Yeah. Gyro is a huge goofball.
He's pretty goofy.
Zeppelis. Yeah. You can see him trying to get Johnny to crack a smile.
Yeah, that's another really depressing thing about Johnny, is that he never smiles. He's so infrequently is happy.
Yeah. And it's unclear whether or not that's, just how he is, or if he just doesn't have anything to be happy about.
I don't think he has anything to be happy about, is the problem. There's really nothing going on in Johnny's life that's like a positive thing. And that's why he needs this corpse so bad, is because it will fulfill like something in his life. It will let him walk again.
Yeah. So Gyro trying to make him like crack a smile, that's just something I was like, yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. They have a real broship going on.
Yeah. It's really nice. I like, Gyro teaches Johnny the spin.
Yeah.
As Zeppeli would do.
Mm-hmm.
And as a mentor, he's a lot more fun than the previous mentor characters. Like, what you got? You got, like, Will Zeppeli.
He was okay.
The most interesting thing he did was punch a frog.
That was pretty good. That's a good introduction to the Ripple.
Yeah. Like, there was that, and then you got Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
She made Joseph wear a Bane mask, and that was... what? And then there's Abdul, and he didn't do anything.
He did literally nothing except die twice.
And name things.
Yeah.
And even then, he didn't name everything.
If anything, old Joseph was more of a mentor type than Abdul. Not necessarily in terms of, like, stands, but just, like, common sense and not being a dipshit.
It was really hard to have a mentor character in later parts.
Right. Because stands are so, like, anti-training. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't train a stand. You can develop, like, new techniques and stuff. But that's about it.
So it's nice to have a return to form.
Yeah.
And if there's ever a character to return to form with, I'm glad it's a Gyro.
Yes, a Gyno.
Yeah. So, Jiro.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a side note for him.
Okay.
Have you seen his Eyes of Heaven design?
I have, and I'm not a fan of the colors they went with.
I have not either.
Because it's too homogenized. Like, it's all the same fucking color. Like, in All-Star Battle, it was really good, because it's like 3 or 4 main colors. But in Eyes of Heaven, it's like all green or like all blue, and it looks really bad.
Yeah, it's not even like a subtle green and blue.
Right, it's like this ugly, like, vomit-looking shit.
Yeah. I'm not sure why they changed it.
I don't know.
Like, I don't even think that palette was in All-Star Battle.
No, it wasn't. That's like a new thing.
And I don't think it was on a cover of any manga.
Probably not.
It just looks
like, it would look better if it was lighter colors, but it pops out so much that it's like, oh, it's distracting.
It's gross. I can't wait to, like, unlock a palette change for him.
Yeah.
He has the titular steel balls.
Yeah. The weirdest thing about this part is why the race is called the Steel Ball Run.
I honestly forgot.
Like, my assumption is that originally when Araki was writing it in his head, he was like, I'll have Gyro have something to do with the race itself. But eventually he dropped that concept. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter what it's called. It could be called the Go Fuck a Donkey Race, and it wouldn't matter. But it's just weird. That's called the Steel Ball Run.
Yes, Jojo Part 7.
Go fuck a donkey.
Go fuck a donkey run. This is the worst possible DMC universe.
It's funny, it's like, oh god, really? Steven, what were you smoking?
So it really isn't explained?
No, it's not.
And Araki didn't explain
As far as I'm aware, I haven't heard any, like, interviews or any explanation.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, again, it doesn't really matter what the race is called, but, like, why is it the Steel Ball Run? It would make more sense if it's called the Steel Run, because his name is Steven Steele.
Yeah.
But why is the ball in it? Like, if the part was called Steel Ball Run, that would make sense, because it's Steel Ball and then Steel Run. And if the actual race was just called Steel Run. But as it is now, it doesn't make sense.
Maybe Steele's just really proud of his balls. Obvious joke. Highbrow humor.
Yes.
Fither. Anyhow, moving right along our character list,
Yes.
I guess. So do you want to get into the big guy, or do you want to talk about Diego?
Let's talk about Diego.
Alright. I'm not a huge fan of how the character ends up being, but I am a fan of scary monsters.
I like scary monsters a lot. My favorite are like the fake shitty little dinosaurs he makes out of like rocks and stuff. Those things are so cute.
It's so stupid.
It is.
I'd love, you know how they have those like little sponges that if you put in water, it turns into a dinosaur?
Yeah.
I'd love for like one of those and just like a scary monster dinosaur. That'd be the best.
Oh, scary monsters.
It turns things into dinosaurs and that's it.
Yeah.
It's the most straightforward stand.
The funny thing is that it's not even his stand. He like steals it.
Speaking of stolen stands, Diego ends up in probably the dumbest, like, Jojo moment, in my opinion. And that's Diego with the world.
Mm-hmm.
That seems super forcing it.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. Like, I think it's a good conclusion, but, like, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make sense in the context of Steel Ball Run itself.
It doesn't make sense in the context. It exists more just to have,
right,
like,
it's fan service.
Dumb. It's fan service in a big dumb final battle.
Yeah.
He seems like a what-if character that we would get in a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm surprised don't exist. We don't get what-if characters in Eyes of Heaven or All-Star Battle. But it just comes out of nowhere and just really serves to drive the point home, and as he's Dio, guys.
Yeah, you guys do. He's got the world. It stops time.
And stopping time and being the world doesn't really fit in with the rest of the part.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since we already have a big time high in Ringo Road again.
Yeah.
One of the more entertaining minor antagonists.
Yeah, we'll talk about him. I love that guy. Yeah. So you're not a fan of alternate Dio Dago from another universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if I would want it removed. I feel like it would work better if something else replaced it, like, if it's just another Diego, maybe? But then that would completely negate the real Diego's death. So it's like, I don't know.
How about another Diego with light? Like, what if it was just like a big dinosaur Diego that gets pulled in? Like a big final boss dinosaur Diego. The funky Diosaurus. Maybe if it were a dinosaur with the world.
Dude, what if Funny Valentine really fucks with him and brings in his brother from another universe?
God. That. Yeah. So, next up on our character list, since we already pretty much covered everything there is to
Wait,
Diego.
I want to talk about Diego some more.
Yeah, you're right. There is one more big thing to talk about with him.
Mm-hmm.
Diego's death is pretty great.
I love his death. Like, when I read it the first time, I didn't really pay much mind to it. I was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't even really remember it. I haven't read, first read it in years now. It's been like 3 years. But when I went and reread it, I was like, man, that death was really good.
It's a very strong death.
Yeah.
Probably in the top 3 Jojo deaths.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's the perfect climax to his character, because he's making these fucking faces that are, like, of such joy and such pain at the same time. And he's like, I did it, I'm Diego, I'm the greatest, I won. And then you see his fucking entire body is split in half.
Yeah.
On the damn train.
He was number 1. Except he wasn't.
It was his stand! He
was number 1! But yeah, it's a very fitting death for the character, and a very, like, it really sticks out as far as deaths go.
Yeah, those deaths I think are the best, are the ones that are like, an ultimate climax for that character.
Yeah. Bonus points that they get, like, a death moment.
Right, like Kakyoin's death we like so much because he has such a great moment where he's, like, thinking about his parents and gives his life to, like, warn Joseph about the world. And Diego, it's the same thing. It's like, he's so proud of himself and he thinks he's, like, victorious. He's like, I did it, I won, I'm the greatest, and then he dies. Because he's been split in half.
It's a very memorable.
Yeah.
Probably the most memorable thing about his character. Mm-hmm. Aside from the whole dinosaurs in the world thing.
Yeah.
So, now we move along?
Yeah, let's move along.
Alright. So, the other two antagonists that stick out, I wouldn't really call them villains. Since no one's really evil. Mm-hmm. We got Ringo, and we got Bunny.
And you forgot one more. Motherfucking Disco!
That guy's a more memorable first name than anything else.
I know. His name is Disco. The only thing this guy says is, my name is Disco, and that's all you're going to learn about me. That's basically what he says.
That's all you need to know, really. This part has a lot of minor characters with amazing names.
Yeah.
Like, Kanye never actually appears in this book, but he's there. Mm-hmm. Kanye is just somewhere in this. Where's Kanye's adventure?
Let's go down the list of names of these guys. We got Andre Boom Boom, Benjamin Boom Boom, L.A. Boom Boom, Oye Como Va, the Pork Pie Hat Kid, Dr. Ferdinand, Blackmore, Sandman, the 11 Men, Mike O, Magent, Axl Rowe, Disco.
Very solid names.
They're great names.
Additionally, there's the minor participants of the Steel Ball Run race. Mm-hmm. They just sort of appear in the background or on the scoreboard. There we get this universe's Abdul, who just sort of dies.
A fucking camel.
Because that's what you do when you're from another sand place.
Sand place.
Yeah. And that's where he gets Zenyatta Mondiata.
Yes.
Which is both a reference to Zenyatta Mondiata and to the English localization.
The Oingo Boingo Brazos!
I believe. So, Ringo.
Yes.
Let's talk about him.
I love Ringo Road again.
He's a very memorable guy.
Yes.
With a very memorable stand.
His stand is great.
Yeah.
And he's weird. He stands out because he's the only minor villain with a time-based power.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like another, but we're not remembering him.
I'm pretty certain he's the only one.
But he really sticks out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what do you want? What do you want to say to him since you like him?
Okay, one thing I really like about Ringo is that he has a real lasting impact on Gyro. Yeah. Because of his whole philosophy about, like, being a man in the true man's world and, like, survival of the fittest and shit.
He's got a good philosophy going on.
Yeah, he does. Plus his stand is baller as hell, and he fights with like a revolver, so he's like Revolver Ocelot. And his beard has a little cartoon skull on it.
A good villain makes an impact on the protagonist.
Right. Which is something that like basically never happens in JoJo. Like most of the time, especially in like part 3 and like 5, they fight him and then that's it.
The only real exception I could think of is Jojo saying, "What if there's another guy who's as strong as Dio?"
Yeah.
That's the only one. But as soon as they fight the guy, they just move on with their lives.
Right, pretty much.
But Ringo here, he makes a real impact on Gyro.
Right.
That's neat. But now we get to like the star attraction here, the true hero.
Yes. Yes.
Poco Loco.
Yes. His stand is called Heya.
And it just tells him
it just gives him good advice.
It's like a better thought.
Pretty much.
But without the funny pictures. If Heya had funny pictures, it'd be the best.
That would be awesome if he's got like a book of funny pictures. And he shows Poco Loco.
But yeah, he just sort of wins because
he just wins because he lucks out.
Yeah. He's just a very lucky motherfucker.
Yep.
It's a very straightforward stand, and he's not really so much of a bad guy or a good guy. He's just
pretty
sort of
neutral.
Like, he's almost the definition of true neutral.
Yeah. Yo, fucking sort the Steel Ball Run characters by D&D alignment system.
Pretty much all of them are either like true neutral or chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
And then there's fucking Funny Valentine on Team Lawful Good. So Funny Valentine,
yes,
his entire motivation is he wants to make America safe.
Yes.
Make
From
America
any and
place.
all negativity ever in the world.
He plans to use the Holy Corpse to just make all the bad stuff leave the country.
And send it off to other places and time periods.
Yeah. It's a very good motivation in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because there's like, when you get down to it, once that happens, you could just sort of like open your ports. Because if you think about it, no terrorist would be able to come to America.
Any bomb they had would just be sent back to their like grandma's house.
Yeah. So, once that happens, Funny would just, like, say, alright, if you want to live a nice life, come to America.
Yeah.
Everything will be good.
Everything will be literally perfect.
Yeah. So, there's really no downside to him losing. But he does anyway.
Yeah. Because Johnny Joestar wants to walk again!
If Funny won, like, no one in his country would have no legs.
Yeah, exactly. He would deflect that fucking no leg shit to some Chinese baby or something. Who cares?
Yeah. There's no reason for him not to win.
Right.
He was 100% right.
Except for, like, the suffering of other countries and time periods and shit, but who fucking cares? Make America great again!
And this is the most real good for... He has a very solid belief, and it's just... He feels bad when he loses.
Right. Because, plus, he's such a likable character.
Yeah. Like, a lot... Like, he has some eccentricities like the other JoJo villains, but they're all, like, really...
They're more like quirks rather than, like, OCD tendencies.
Yeah. He's just a very likable guy. Yeah. He does a couple of bad things, but just let you know that he's going to do the right thing.
Dude, he was going to give Johnny another gyro.
Like, what other guy's going to do that?
Nobody, because they can't, because he's got dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
that is a very strong stand.
It's the greatest stand ever.
The best part about him, in my opinion, is that once you really go beyond the race, he wouldn't even be an antagonist.
Right.
Like, once the race is over, if like no one really died, he'd probably just like, alright, after party.
Alright, sweet, I got Jesus.
I got Jesus, guys.
Alright, woo!
And this especially shows in Eyes of Heaven,
Mm-hmm.
where, Eyes of Heaven spoilers.
Yeah, if you care about that, about the plot of that game.
Yeah. So, what happens there is Funny Valentine pulls in Dio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not Diego, but Dio. And he sees how evil Dio is, and just defects to the Joestar side.
Yeah.
All the other antagonists are with Dio, but Funny is just... He just becomes a good guy.
Yeah.
And he gives his life to try to defeat Dio.
Mm-hmm.
That is not something a villain would
Yo, he
do.
gives him the speech.
Yeah.
Yo, recite the speech. You know it? You know it?
I don't.
Okay, here's how it goes. My heart and actions are utterly unclouded. They are all those of justice.
He gives Dio that speech.
He does, in Eyes of Heaven.
That is great.
And then he fucking charges at him with D4C.
Like, he drops, like...
Oh yeah, he loses bad, but... It's the effort that matters.
Yeah. Like, that is not something a villain would do, and that really just goes to show how nobody in Part 7 is truly, like, a horrible person.
Right, they're all just after their own ambitions, which is, like, they're people. They feel human because that's what humans do. They just pursue what they want. Like, Johnny and Gyro stick together for the united goal of trying to get the corpse and win the race. But there's many occasions where Johnny considers, like, just saying, fuck it.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see how, like, this ultimate power or money would just, like, tear these people apart.
Yeah, it corrupts them.
This is real Danganronpa shit right here. That's Danganronpa 1, not shitty old Danganronpa 2.
Yeah, fuck that game. I haven't actually played it. I'll get to it one of these days.
I actually just said fuck that game. I have a dislike for it.
Wow.
So, let's see. There's a lot more we could say about Bunny.
Yeah.
But we pretty much got to the gist of it.
One more thing. I think that the two panels, the one where he goes, my heart and actions are utterly unclouded, they are all those of justice, and then Johnny's face are the two best consecutive panels in Jojo, period. That's like the best page ever. Because Johnny's face is just like, he realizes he's done wrong.
And you see, like, the determination of Bunny.
Right.
Raw determination. Mm-hmm. Moving right along our character list, like, this one's just sort of like a neutral character, as true neutral as it gets. Mm-hmm. But really, in actuality, he's just good.
Yeah.
Like, true good.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus! Oh, Jesus.
Let's talk about how Jesus is the central focus of this part.
Yeah. So, the corpse is Jesus.
Yes.
And ironically, Jesus' ability is not something very Jesus-like.
Right, not at all.
Like,
his body actually gives quite a number of abilities.
Yeah. But, like, the one that, like, we see the most of is deflecting bad things.
It's the power to remove.
And Jesus is not really about removing anything.
No.
Like, the only real things that, like, Jesus removed were, like, sickness and...
That's funny to think about, the idea that Jesus removed this, like, blindness and shit from people and just sent it to somebody else and didn't even know.
Jesus would rewrite the Bible, but mention that Jesus did these things with his stand.
Yeah. Yeah, the church is like, let's take this stand shit out. This is weird.
Oh god. A universe where the church has to talk about stand.
You can't become the Pope unless you have a stand.
Dude, our Pope would be badass.
Dude, that would be awesome. It's like, alright, Mr. Pope Ferdinand or whatever, what do you want your stand to be? Oh, yes, let me think, I'll call it, oh yes, Black Sabbath. That's already a stand, never mind, let me think, fuck, I don't know. I'm not too musically good at stuff.
Jesus walks.
Sure. It's like, that's not very appropriate, Your Holiness, but sure.
But, so, the idea that Jesus is just a central character in this is so interesting. Like, you can go on the Jojo wiki and just find Jesus.
Dude, there's a page about Jesus, I'm looking at it right now.
It's really satisfying.
Yep.
And then the fucking George Joestar goes and ruins
Yes. With his bullshit about how Jesus is Dio in some convoluted, insane shit that doesn't make any sense.
Part 7 has, like, a very major role in George Joestar.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. Like, the parts that are, like, major in that are, like, 2,
6,
4, 5... No, not even 6.
Well, 6 had... Well, the whole fucking universe go speedy fast thing.
Like, Pookie is major, but, like, you don't see, like...
You know what? You're right. You never even mentioned Jolene or any of them at all when we were reading that schlock.
Yeah. But you see, like, this universe is, like, Okuyasu, Koichi... And you see there, like, Narancia and Bruno. And you see Funny Valentine, he's there, and so is his sons.
Don't talk to me or me or me or me ever again.
But you don't see anything from Part 6 for some reason. Or Part 3.
I guess the mastermind who wrote it didn't really like those parts.
Which is weird because, like, Part 3 is very popular there. Mm-hmm. And, But enough about George Joestar.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
Fuck that thing. It ruins everything.
It does.
So... Oh, wait a minute. You know how you have, like, a central image for all the parts?
Yeah.
Is Jesus going to be in the middle of the
No, it's going to be the American flag.
Okay. I thought that would be the background.
It will be. Let me think. That would be cool. I'll put the background as the American flag and the central image is also the American flag.
So, no Jesus?
I'll think about it.
It would be sacrilege if we were to, like, make either of us Jesus.
Right.
So don't do that.
I'm not gonna be Jesus. That would be messed up. I'm Fither Valentine, and you're Flair Gyro Zeppeli.
That's good. That's solid. we can't make ourselves Jesus.
No, that'd be messed up. But Funny tried to.
Funny tried to. But he failed. Sadly.
Yeah.
So, that leaves our favorite moments.
Let's see, I don't think we talked about the stands, really.
That's because they kind of take a backseat in this part.
They kinda do. It's more about the spin.
Yeah. Stands are more like tools in this universe. A lot of them just give an ability to the person rather than the stand having its own power.
Right.
Like Mandom, despite having, like, a body, all it really does is rewind time.
Right.
Tracer style.
Cheers, love!
Cavalry's here.
The cavalry's here. The I can't do a good tracer right now.
None of us.
You're right.
And, like, Tusk, until it reaches Act 4, it really just shoots out fingernails.
Right.
And Gyro, I forget what Ball Breakers even did.
Ball Breaker,
just the balls?
What it does is it accelerates, like, gravity, because there's a correlation between gravity and time. And it accelerates it to, like, ridiculous levels and makes whatever it's in contact with age. And that's why Funny got so old for a second.
Yeah. I genuinely forgot because that ability was pretty much never used.
He used it, like, twice.
Yeah. Like, it might as well just be a Star Platinum power.
Yeah. I like that stand, though. It's pretty cool.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. It's called Ball Breaker.
That's just a solid name to give anything.
Yeah.
We talked about Scaring Monsters.
Yeah.
We talked about D4C.
We didn't really talk about D4C that much.
Well, yeah, because there's not really much to it.
Yeah, it's because it's just so good. It's not even worth talking about. It's like, it's amazing.
Like, it pulls in things from other universes.
Yeah.
And if you touch yourself, you
merge into a bunch of cubes and explode.
Yeah. That's how they beat Heaven, Dio.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that Funny played a major part in defeating
the
greatest antagonist.
Funny defeated Zawardo do Oba Heaven.
Yeah. Like, he was the one who gave Jojo some ideas.
God bless you, Funny.
Yeah. Like, what did that terrorist Johnny Joestar do?
Nothing. Except fucking destroy America's future.
Yeah.
I want to walk.
It became less about walking and more about having a victory.
Right. Like, he does become pretty obsessed with the corpse. Just because he likes the feeling that it gives him, like the power.
If Funny just gave him back his legs, it wouldn't be like...
He wouldn't be satisfied.
Yeah. Johnny's a cunt that way.
Right. Johnny's like... The thing about Johnny is that his life has been cut into pieces so bad that, like, even if he gets it all back, I don't think he'd be satisfied.
He needs to get it back himself.
Right. He has to get it back and more.
But the spin, as we mentioned before, it's a lot more versatile than the Ripple.
Right.
Just because it's a lot easier to say, fucking, like, spin equals whatever the fuck you want it to.
Ripple is like, yeah, I'll hurt a pillar, man. The fucking spin is like, I'm going to rip through a dimensional barrier.
By spinning.
It's by spinning super good.
Make the spinning stop.
When you nut, but she's still spinning.
So, favorite moments.
Oh, shit.
I liked when we first saw Jesus.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Because that moment when it sits in, oh fuck, Jesus.
Oh fuck, it's Jesus. Those moments are the best. The ones when Gyro, like, very clearly knows it has to be Jesus, but doesn't want to admit it. Because you gotta remember, Gyro is, like, a part of the church.
I genuinely forgot.
He is. He's an executioner working for, like, the church, basically.
I'm sorry, Jesus.
I love you, Jesus. How fucked up that must that be? That, like, you're holding the body of the guy you worship. And you've got his, like, eyeball in your eyeball.
That is pretty fucked up.
It is.
Alright. Any of your favorite moments?
I mentioned the one where Funny goes, my heart and actions are utterly unclouded. There are all those injustice. And Johnny's fucking face. That's probably the highlight of the part. A lot of people seem to agree. Is that one page, because it's just so powerful. And Diego's death, that's another really good moment. I like the part when Funny Valentine's wife tries to fuck Lucy Steele.
For what reason?
Because she was a lesbian.
And you like this part because?
Because it's funny.
No, it's Funny's wife.
Yeah. You motherfucker.
Get your facts straight.
God damn you. Oh shit, another good one. This is another good one. I forgot to mention this. The part at the very end when Johnny Joestar is like near the end of the race and his fucking dad is there.
That's a pretty good one.
That one's good. Because it's like, Johnny finally gets something.
Yeah.
Like, because basically the only reason he joined this race was because I think he wanted to impress his dad. And he got that in the end.
Yeah. Johnny got something.
He got something.
He got a bit too much if you ask me.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Johnny. Hashtag fuck Johnny.
Hashtag fuck Johnny. Get it trending. Oh yeah, I like the part where Disco goes, my name is Disco and that's all you need to know.
That's all we need to know about that.
That's all we need to know about Disco. One thing I like about the part is how, like, weird the stand names are.
Yeah. You wouldn't really see another part have hey ya.
Yeah, like, part 4 and 5 and 6 are all like... Fuck, what was the word you used to describe it?
What do you mean?
They're like the songs. You use a specific word. This was in the part 5.
Huh? What'd you say?
Contemporary, that's it. Like, contemporary songs. But Steel Ball Run is just like, fuck it, whatever, who cares?
I wouldn't say that.
Like, there's just so many, like, different genres and shit.
Well, you kind of get that in part 6.
Yeah, part 6 is like that too, but Steel Ball Run is like, what the fuck? Like, Chocolate Disco is like a fucking K-pop song.
That is true. Oh god, Gangnam Style is eligible.
You're right.
Oh god, Psy's stand. It's too powerful. What would? Oh god, its battle cry is just You'd probably like that one.
Dude, that would be pretty good. It wouldn't be as good as Da-Ra-Ra-Ra or fucking Shimameen.
Shimameen is just sort of like a single sound.
Yeah. It's a good sound, though. Everything about Tusk Act 4 is perfect, because he's so stupid and goofy looking, and he's so fat. He's got such a stupid
and also
face.
Terrifying.
But he makes the stupidest fucking noise. He's like, Shimimeen! But he's horrifying. He's so scary.
If you heard that fucking Shimameen...
That big fat fucking thing was coming after you.
Sorry, my headset ran out of batteries there. Without warning. Anyhow. Yeah, Tusk Act 4 is fucking terrifying.
I love Tusk Act 4 so much.
Like, imagine that. Imagine a live-action adaptation.
Dude!
Imagine how fucking terrifying
Holy
that would
shit.
be. Like, there's a lot of terrifying shit in Jojo, but I think Tusk Act 4
is up there with, like, King Crimson.
What other ones are
What are
super
some
terrifying?
other scary fucking stands?
Vitamin C.
That one's terrifying. Mm-hmm. Heavy Weather is another scary one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good Halloween video right there.
Yeah. Yo, we should do some fucking Halloween shit.
Yeah. 10 terrifying stands.
Yeah. Jojo Halloween. Because why not?
Well, because there's only really one video there.
Right.
And we'd probably change it to like 10 terrifying things in Jojo. Yeah. Alright. Weakest moments.
Wait, I have one more thing I really like about the part is the hunt for the parts, the corpse parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's such a dynamic thing having so many different pieces. And they all move around too. It's not like a collectathon for Johnny and Gyro. Like these parts move about from different people.
Yeah. Because there's no real true antagonist.
Right.
Well, everyone's kind of their own. Everyone's kind of an antagonist for someone.
Yeah.
Weakest moments of the park.
Weakest things about the park. Oh shit.
This is kind of hard.
Yeah, it is, because there's nothing
the whole thing is
wrong with it.
Nothing really sticks out as bad, aside from like our nitpicks about Diego.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit, I don't know.
When we had Fat Funny, that really didn't fit with his character.
Yeah. You're right, it's like, why did he get so fat?
Yeah. What would he do that would make him fat?
You got lazy,
This is
I guess.
before... And why did he get unfat?
Because he switched bodies with a better him.
I'm not a fan of Fat Funny.
Me either. Like, if it was Fat Funny, we wouldn't like him as much, because let's face it, you can't take a fat villain seriously.
It's hard to take a fat hero seriously.
Right.
One panel that sticks out to me about Fat Funny is this one. I just picked an edited version.
The fucking heart. This is Grump. Oh shit. These are my favorites when you send me pictures just in the middle of these videos and I gotta edit it in.